Hi, folks. Jesse Ivy back with you again today. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can save money for a house. So, I don't know if you have been thinking about buying a house. I wouldn't suggest buying a house right now because interest rates are super high. Also, the fact that I don't think they're going to come down anytime soon. Real estate prices are super high. So this would be a good time for you to save money for a house because of the fact that I feel it's going to be a couple of years, probably before anybody's going to want to buy a house because that's how long it's probably going to take for interest rates to come back down and real estate prices to start dropping. So if you're somebody that wants to buy a house and eventually wants to own your own place, I would suggest starting to save money now. Um, and one of the ways you can start saving money would be just to start. Yeah, that's the key thing is just to start saving money. So how do you start saving money? You do this by cutting, your entertainment back, cutting your eating out back, cutting your coffee that you buy at Starbucks back, and things like that. That way you can start saving money for a house. So most people want to own a house. Most families want to own a house. Maybe you're just a single lady or gentleman that wants to own their own house. But to do that, you're going to have a sizable down payment. And the only way you're going to really get there is by cutting out some of these things you spend money on. So if you're somebody that likes to spend money, that could be difficult for you, and you have to, get a new mindset and tell yourself, "Hey, I'm going to start saving money, and I'm actually going to buy a house down the road. I'm not going to buy a house right now. I know I'm not, but I'm going to start putting money in my bank and start saving money up to buy a house." So, with that in mind, depending on where you live in the United States or in the world, that can be difficult. Because of the fact that the prices vary so much all over the planet. And especially here in the United States where I live. You could live in Oregon where prices are kind of high. You might move back to Mississippi and prices are lower. So, that's something you also have to think about is maybe you need to relocate so you can afford to buy a house. But the key thing here is to start saving for a house. And when I say start saving, that means start putting money away. Maybe you can do a side hustle, like an extra job on the weekends, when you're off work, where you're gathering up money, you're saving and just starting to put that money away and save money. And that's one way that I was able to buy our first house was that I started, doing extra jobs on the weekends and on the side, I quit spending money. That's the key right there is to stop spending money because if you stop spending money and instead start saving it, eventually you're going to own a house because that's just the way it is. There's a lot of good first time home buyer programs. I don't think they probably have them so much right now, but I do believe down the road they'll have them again. Because the lenders, banks, and stuff, they've kind of tightened up on everything because of the economy. But if you're somebody that really truthfully wants to buy a house, you really need to start putting money away. And I would say anywhere between 20 to probably $60,000, just to buy a basic bread and butter house, which would be a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house or a 2 bedroom, 1 bath house, whatever. But you just need to get it going so that you can start saving some money and buy that house that you want to do. And the only way that's going to happen is it's going to come down to you, basically you've got to decide that, hey, I'm going to quit spending money. I'm going to quit going out on the weekends and getting drunk, or at least cut one or two of my nights out doing that, or I'm going to stop going to the movies, or I'm going to stop buying all this technology. I don't need a new iPhone every time they change it, or I don't need a new uh, the latest LP from Apple or whatever. You just need to tell yourself, I don't need these things. All I need to do is start focusing on saving money. And that's got to become a priority for you if you definitely want to own a house, someday. And that's the only way it's going to happen. It's going to come down to you. It's going to come down to what you can do, what you can save. If you're a worker bee like me, who enjoys working, that's what another thing I would encourage you to do. If you get off work, if you work in the day, get a job part-time in the evenings or something on the weekends that you can do. Get a side gig, get an online job. There's lots of places like that you can get online jobs, on the weekends, like a remote job or something like that. You can also just get a job just working for one of your buddies or somebody or something, that doing some work on the side so that you're able to start saving some money for a house. All I can tell you is having a house that's your own and not living in an apartment, living in a manufactured home park that you're renting. I've lived in apartments, or I've had multiple roommates. It's a nightmare. Who wants to live like that? Roommates are not fun, at least the ones I've had. So that's another thing you can do for motivation, to motivate yourself. Then you can have your own pets. If you want to have a dog and maybe you're living in an apartment or a small place right now, or you're renting a room from somebody and they're charging you $1,000 a month for that one room, when you could go out eventually and just save your money up and buy a house. If that's something that you're thinking of doing, and that you're tired of living this way, that's something that eventually that is something that you can plan on doing, is giving yourself motivation to do that. Then on top of that, if you're married or you've got kids, having a place for your kids to go and have fun and feel safe at, and know it's your home and you're going to live there for a number of years. There's nothing better than that. I know when I had my family at home, that's what we liked. I liked having our own place that we could call our own, not having to answer to a landlord or somebody that's going to kick me out or say, hey, you're renting my house and now I want to sell it, so now you need to move. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. And that has happened to me before. Or you just don't have the money. You don't have the money in the bank to save for that house because you haven't been concentrating on that. And that's something you need to do. Concentrate on saving money to buy that house of yours that you and your family or you yourself just want. And there's nothing better than having home ownership. In my opinion, there isn't. You feel secure. You're coming home to your house every night. You don't have to worry about somebody else telling you, hey, you have no place to go, or this is my house. These are my rules, and you're going to live. You're renting a room for me. All that stuff. I don't need it. That's why part of the reason I bought a house was for that reason, to get away from that type of life. So remember, the keys to this whole plan is just start saving money. That's what you need to do. Start saving it. Start putting money in the bank. Stop those lattes. Stop going out eating every night, or going out for lunch, eating on your lunch hour. Bring a sack lunch. There's so many ways you can save money so that you'll be able to get that house. Hey, if I could do it, I know anybody can. Okay. So anyway, this is Jesse from the Owner Terms Land Network. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll be back again very soon with another video for you to watch. And I hope you have a great day.